This is video number 1 for 5.6, inverse of a function. When does a function have an inverse and how do you find it? That's what you're going to learn today. So, excuse me, we're going to start with video 1 is going to be writing a formula for the input of a function. So we're going to solve for y equals f of x. We're going to solve that for x and then find the input when the output is 2. Alright, so what all does that mean? Let's just do a problem and you'll see. So we want to solve this for x. I want to get x all by itself. So to do that, I need to first replace f of x with y. See, y equals f of x? Okay, so we're just going to change that to a y. And then I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to move the 3 using the order of operations here. We got to do the correct steps first. So this gets me y minus 3, and now I'm left with 2x, because those added up to 0. Okay, still need x by itself, so now I have to get rid of the 2 in front of it. It's being multiplied, and the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 2. So that makes this go away, and I'm left with x on that side. So x will equal, and it equals y minus 3 over 2. Okay, this can also be written as 1/2 y minus 3 halves. You can just put that 2 in front of each. Okay, those are the same thing. Alright, so I did the first part. I solved for x. Then it says find the inputs when the output is 2. The x is the input. The output is y. So for y, I'm going to plug in 2. So I have x equals 2 minus 3 over 2, because that was the equation I was solving in. So that is negative 1 over 2, because 2 minus 3 is negative 1. It's all over 2. That would be my input when the output is 2. Alright, let's go on to number 2. Alright, again, we want to substitute f of x. We want to say it's y. And I'll just rewrite it so it looks neater there. And I'm trying to solve for x. So I have to get rid of the 2 in front, so I'm going to divide by 2. Okay? So I end up with y over 2 equals, those cancel, so I'm with x squared. And now we need to get the x by itself. Ooh. So the opposite of something being squared is taking the root, so I'm going to square root both sides. Now whenever you square root both sides, that gives you a plus and minus on the side that is not being squared. So I have this side simplifies to x, and this side we're just going to leave it the way it's written, y over 2, plus or minus the square root of y over 2. Okay, so now it wants us to plug in 2 for x, or I'm sorry, for y. The output is 2. So I'm going to have two equations here. I'm going to have x equals something when it's a positive, so I have square root of 2 over 2. And I'll have an x equals a negative square root of 2 over 2. Okay, 2 over 2 is 1, so I have x equals a positive 1. And then I have an x equals negative 1. So you could leave that as saying x equals plus or minus 1, or you could leave them as two different answers. Okay, number 3. Okay, we want to get x by itself, but first we have to put y in the place of f of x. So y is going to equal a negative x cubed plus 3. Order of operations says to move the 3 first if we're trying to get the x by itself. So I have y minus 3 is now going to equal a negative x cubed. Order of operations says I have to get rid of that negative, so I'm going to divide everything by negative 1. So that goes away. So then I have x cubed on that side. This side, if I just change the sign of everything, I don't have that negative 1 in the bottom. So it's going to be a negative y plus 3. Still need to get x by itself. So we're going to take the cube root of both sides. Because that index and that exponent will cancel to leave me with x. They're the inverses of each other. They cancel to 1. And this side will be the third root of a negative y plus 3. Alright, and it wants my x when my output is 2, so I'm going to plug 2 in. So I have x equals the third root of a negative 2 plus 3. So that is the third root of 1, which is 1. Okay, so now go to your practice and do problems number 6, 10, and 11 and move on to the next video.